Good morning. Good morning. You know, uh, Today we will learn something on learning emotional regulations. Because emotional dysregulation is the big problem. We must learn how to regulate our emotions because emotions are very, very strong thing that will damage our life. Because today uh, it's very simple. Being anxious is okay. There's no problem. You can be anxious. Being anxious is not a problem, but anxiety, suffering from anxiety is a problem. uh, Feeling sad is okay. Sometimes it's natural, but being depressed is not okay, right? uh, Feeling that my things are changing or something, feeling of change is okay, but saying that I have a bipolar disorder or something like that is very dangerous, right? So all these things are, we must learn emotional regulations, very important. Early on in our young days, actually we were not taught, and today also even the people are not taught, how to handle all these emotions. Actually, psychology, a basic of psychology, a basic of neurology is very important for people to learn. Actually, it should be taught in a primary educations, where children are able to handle sadness, happiness. Both those feelings has to be managed. Actually, you cannot be happy and be overexcited, and you cannot be sad and become very depressed. You cannot be anxious and be continuously anxious about something. So all these things, how to handle emotions, how to handle different emotions, the tactics are there. There are, cognitive behavior therapy, there are some medications. Medications actually are for people who are suffering. So all these things are there, but it has to happen early on. Early on, we must learn what is all about. All these emotional pains are all about, because whatever we learned, we learned a lot of things. We learned a lot of emotional things. We learned heartbreaks. We fall in love, we break up, but we learned it harder way. And sometimes we stayed for months thinking about what really is wrong in this world, or why am I here. All these questions are really, bothering people, because we know how to feel sad. That's natural response, but we don't know how to stop it, and we don't know how to, come back to the track. That really has to be, that really we have to learn. And it's about all about the narratives also. The way we adapt with our narratives, and way we impose our narratives to people around, that this is right and this is wrong, this is the way I think, and this should be the best. That cannot happen. People have different narratives, acceptance, all these things will develop over the period of time. If we just understand that mind is a very, very complex thing, and we must learn how to manage it at early on. If this is taught to people, then we would have really saved a generation of people who are suffering from all these things. Like people who are schizophrenic. If they forget everything just now, and if their family is not taught how to cope up with all these things. All these things are very important. Means managing mind, learning about how to manage mind is a very important topic, and we have neglected a lot. Because mind is one important thing. Because if we just take out mind from what we are, then what is left? Nothing, right? We are just living through mind. The world I see it through my mind. It's just too philosophical to think by that way, but it's true. If I don't have mind, then I will just be another body of flesh and blood and bones and all. That's it. Nothing will be there. So that mind is a crucial part, and you people call it consciousness, or it's a trained memory in the brain. Actually, we can call it consciousness. All these things are there in religious field teachings, but we cannot I cannot talk about it because I have not experienced, but I can at least understand that mind is one important thing, and with this mind I have suffered a lot, because I could not manage early on. I used to feel very much sad. The sadness used to go for days, because because I was not able to rebut back. I was not able to come in terms that these are natural, and this is how we manage it. It's by understanding it natural, by accepting it, it's natural, by talking with people, by telling that I'm feeling sad. It's nothing bad to tell people that I'm feeling sad today. It's natural, it's a human feeling. And all these things you must be able to talk, you must be able to take it casually. That you must be able to understand these are all feelings, and feelings happen. Sadness, happiness, emotions, being emotional, all this happen. So you should not be happy, in a situation that you are putting pressure on yourself to understand all these feelings. So this is one thing. And without having all these feelings also, we cannot grow. Suppose we see a tiger or a lion in front of us, and we don't have an instinct to run. We feel that there's nothing emotional, nothing to get emotional, nothing to get scared or something like that, and you don't run, then you will die. The safety has to be there, the breach where you have to save, you must save yourself, right? So it's natural to be anxious that I'm not able to earn a good money, my future may be dark, and that anxiety is natural, and that must be there. That's required, otherwise you will not grow. If I do something wrong, then people will talk bad about me, there will be it will be an offense, I'll be penalized. All these things, you must be scared of. That's natural. You must accept. So these things will happen, but to seriously think about something, to create a ghost inside your thoughts, that this happens, and then I will be suffering like this. I will be suffering. If you just be too imaginative, and you suffer that imagination, then it is a problem. If you suffer your memory, like a long, long ago, this thing has happened to me, and then I'm still carrying over it, and today I'm still suffering, because it happened, it's gone. Some point you should take and forget it, then move on. If you're just stuck at one particular thing and just thinking that life will change, life is not going to change unless you put in effort. And that those effort will hurt. Even if it is to be successful, the path is very tough. You have to suffer. The success is painful. You have to go through the painful route to be successful. Where you want to achieve a dream, because you have to travel, you have to move, you have to carry, a lot of things. You have to read, you have to understand, you have to listen to people, you have to really understand everything, to suffer everything, so that it's time consuming, it's effort taking. That is where you get success. Otherwise, if you take an easier route, if you want an easier route, and if there is no challenge in life, if there is no challenge, your brain will slowly start dying. You must have seen a lot of people, who say that I have accomplished my life, now that I have nothing to accomplish, this is it. And few years later you realize that they're gone. Because when you stop giving challenge to your brain, you slowly induce death to your brain. When your brain dies, your memory dies, you're dead. As good, you will die then, obviously, right? That's why slowly it will stop, putting a pressure on you. And when you don't have pressure, you will not grow. And when you don't grow, it's a natural death, that's happening in you. So it's important to be worrying, it's important to take stress, it's important to be anxious, but to a limit, because our brain is elastic. Means today you give it's like a bodybuilding. Today you lift 1 kg weight, a 10 kg weight. Tomorrow you will slowly make it to 10.1, 10.2, slowly increasing. Tensions are also like that. You will be able to take smaller tensions, then slowly, when you have a habit of taking smaller tensions, you will be able to take a bigger tensions. That's how the elasticity, it has the elasticity. And you can really take a bigger tensions in life, and it's a never ending process actually. You must be thinking that one fine day I'll be relaxed. No, it's never going to be relaxed. Life is never going to be relaxed. If you're relaxed, then you're waiting for death, and that life is very worst. So it's never going to be relaxed. It was traumatic yesterday. It will be traumatic today. It will be traumatic tomorrow. You'll have to live on through insecurities, uncertainties. All these things are part and parcels of life. The acceptance has to develop. That is where the mind has to be very, 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 very adaptive. You must listen to all these motivational talks. You must generate the motivational energy within you, so that you can really adapt to all this scenario. Otherwise, you will feel that life is really tough. You will feel that life is a suffering. There is no suffering as such. It's the process of life that you're leading, and that's how that makes it suffering. Otherwise, if you just it's just define as I'm just learning something, it's all about definition. So moving on, changing definition, adapting to the mind, and daily dose of motivations are very important to go ahead with life, live a very simple life and very humble life. It's not tough, but you must not stop taking challenges, so that life is always expanding. We are expanding to be something better, and that is nature. And that's why we should not change from being natural. Being natural is expanding, learning something, doing something, taking tensions, worrying, stress. All these things will happen, and we will still be growing, and that is more important. So that's what is called the learning emotional regulation. We should not be emotionally deregulated. Then the problem is there. And then we will be telling that I'm suffering from anxiety. We will not say we're anxious. We'll not say I'm sad. We'll say I'm suffering from depression. We'll not say that I'm sometimes happy, sometimes sad. We'll say that I have a bipolar disorder. All these things are just because there is a spectrum. Actually, whenever you talk about these diseases, the to certain extent it is good, but that is a very thin line. It depends from person to person. It's a very thin line. Person to person have different tendencies, different adaptive capacities. So some will be worried with a small thing. If he has just a pinch of a small pimple in his hand or leg, he worries. Or some, even if he gets a boil, he doesn't worry. So the stretch, how much you are stretched and how much you can be stretched, that differs from person to person. So the learning emotional thing, taking tensions and worries, and stretching your mind ability to conquer all these things is a process, and we must continually improve daily. Have a good weekend. Tash Dele.